Hello everyone, this is Ripper of Ripper Gaming, and today I'm going to be covering the Baseus Blade HD Power Bank. Now if you don't already have one, this is something that I would recommend for pretty much any handheld gaming user, whether you're talking about your iPad, your phone, talking about your ROG Ally, your Steam Deck. I use all of those. But this is especially nice because it's a 100 watt PD, which means it'll allow you to play turbo off of the ROG Ally. So we're gonna open it up right now, and then we'll do some testing after that. So we'll start by just opening up the box here. Looks nice and premium. Comes with plastic. We'll just try and get that off without hopefully messing up the box. I don't know if you're like me, but I like to keep my boxes of everything I have. I don't know. I'd like to say it's just for resale, but I keep a nice collection of products, boxes that I still use. So let's get the plastic off here. Alright, and so let's see, it looks like it just slides right off from the top here. Come on, suspense is killing me. Alright, so we'll move that over to the side, and it's got a nice little tab here to pull out the power bank. So this almost looks like something that would fit under like a Mac Mini. So we've got the 100 watt here, got it covered up with plastic, just keep the screen looking good. Looks like we've got USB 1 out, Type C in out, Type C2 in out, USB 2 out. So all these are outs, but the C's are in and out. Let me bring that up and see if you can get a better look of it here. Let it focus in. So yeah, so that means that we'd be charging between using USB-C. So see, you got a nice little carry case, keep it from getting scratched up. That's nice. We'll try it real quick. See how well it fits in here. If you're like me and like to take care of your electronics, you always want a nice case, something to keep it from getting scratched up. Comes with it, so yeah, that works. That's nice. Feels nice and smooth, almost like a suede, a velour, that type of thing. And let's see what else we get in the box here. So, if you don't know, I actually asked this before I got this, but Baseus means base on user. So you can kind of see, got some alien type things on there. That's kind of cute. So we've got the warranty card, and I don't think I'm going to read every page of this book. These things are pretty straightforward. And then of course it comes with a USB-C cable, since that's how you mainly charge it. As we mentioned before, the USB-C is in out, and the USB, well, it says USB 1 and 2, but those are USB-A, so those are out only. So we're going to go ahead and take this cover off just so we can kind of see the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and see if we get anything when we hit power here. Okay, so it's showing us 39, so I'm guessing that's 39% battery at the moment. So I'm going to grab a power cord I've got here, which is hooked up to a 100 watt charger, and we're just going to try and hit one of these. And so, alright, so that tells us that what voltage we're getting, how fast it's going to charge. We're at 39%. Bring this up here. It's a little glare, it's harder to see it. But yeah, hopefully you can get a good look on the camera there. So we're at 39%, and it says we've got 40 minutes to charge, and that's with a 100 watt cable and 100 watt charger. So, that's pretty good. Shouldn't take that long to get this thing up to full charge. I'm going to try the other port, just since they both say in and out. Make sure they both support the same charging speeds. So this one, okay, yeah, it's just getting up to voltage there, and yeah, we're about the same here, about 40 minutes to charge it fully. Okay, so looks pretty good. I don't know if there's any other information we can get from the power button here. I don't know if it cycles through anything else. Let me try and hold it down and see if we get anything. No, so pretty straightforward. I don't see any other buttons on it. I will say I mean, it's still slick, even though it's got this, you know, fun to play with cover here. Shows you it is the 100 watt PD on there. And then on the back here, we've got these little rubber feet. I'm going to try that. This is kind of a faux leather mat that I like to use for my videos. So, let's see. It'll move. I think on, if you have some weight on it or something, then, you know, it probably won't move as easily. But I think that's just to make sure it doesn't easily slide off of something. Now, this is fairly slick. You know, might have to try it on another surface. So I'll go ahead and pull forward the Steam Deck just to give you kind of a comparison there. So let's see. Didn't really sit on it or anything perfect. I mean, it kind of can balance on there, but probably wouldn't do that. Of course, you can, you know, prop it up on there if you've got a kickstand like I do on my Steam Deck. Kind of compare it to the ROG Ally here. So, ROG Ally, yeah, this is adjustable. Not really made to kind of sit something on top of it, but that's fine. The main thing is that I think most people are going to use this for is trying to just get either extra battery life out of one of their devices, or to try and get maybe the extra power here, because you only get the 25 watt off of the ROG Ally unless you're plugged in. And since this power bank is 100 watt charge, it will give you a full 30 watt turbo on here. So we will actually try that out here in just a minute. Let me get out the cable that came with it and we can test that real quick. And then after we test that, I'm probably going to go do some real life testing and see really how long the battery lasts compared to some other ones, that kind of thing. So it's not super long, but in all honesty, I mean, what is that? Maybe 18 inches. So, you know, that's not a bad thing. You know, you don't always want a 10-foot cable like my white cable is here, especially if you're working on something like a desktop. So we're at 43%. We've already gone up 4% since we started the video, so that's not bad. So I'm going to put this in here, and we're going to try and see what kind of power we get. I might have to turn this on. I haven't turned it on today, so it might be off yet. So we'll give this just a moment here. Let's see, anything else it gives us. I'll let that kind of boot up and do its thing there. Let's see if this gives us anything else while we're looking. So, okay, so I think when you hit the button there, it just kind of resets it to see, you know, what the current power is if you just want to do a reset on it. It does show you how many hours. Of course, there's no real draw on it right now, so we'll probably see that adjust once we, make sure you can see that. We'll probably see that adjust once we get it plugged in. So let me pull the Ally out here and get logged in. Okay, so we're in the Ally. We are gonna give ourselves power. I'm gonna go ahead and set it to turbo, which you see is running 25 watt. Hopefully you can see that if we get focused there. So that's 25 watt turbo. So we are going to plug this in and see if we get our full 30 watt turbo. Okay, so we do see, make sure it shows it's charging there. So if we take a look in there, I'm not seeing, you get battery saver is not on, okay. It is not showing it is getting power, at least it doesn't show a charge. So let's see here. Now I'm at 85%, so it should definitely be able to pull a charge. Let's try to plug this back in again and see. Now it could be only one port works with it. It doesn't really show, just 4 hours 22, so it shows it's getting something now. It does not show on the Ally that we're getting 100 watts. So I'm going to try the other port here and see if that makes a difference. Okay, I can see, yeah, I can see it's going down quite a bit. So it's saying 30 minutes left, 40 minutes left on the battery. Okay, now this one does show 30-watt turbo. Make sure that's clearing up there. So we are getting 30-watt turbo off of that port. Now I've got another device where it only works off of one port. So let's take a look at this again and see. Just try and get that to focus there. So it says the first one gives you total output. I don't really see any difference between the ports, but I will take a look at the manual and let you know later, because it could be that only one of those ports provides that wattage. So I'm going to try it again here. Let's go ahead and kind of set that up. Hopefully you can see that 25-watt turbo. We're going to plug into the first port again. Okay, so the first port does give us, it says on PD, but it is not showing us a turbo of 30 watts. So go back into the second port here. This is this one right here, close to the right side. Now that one does show on PD and does show a 30-watt turbo. So the device does support it. Obviously it draws a lot faster out of the second port, and I will make sure to check through the manual when I'm doing my real world testing and see kind of how that works. So my testing, what I think is best, especially for someone that's using something like the Ally, is to see how much time we can get out of it at full power, basically at 30 watts. So my test scenario is going to be to play a game. I'm thinking either Diablo 4 or maybe Baldur's Gate 3. I need to work on getting that set up on my Ally anyway, and then just play on full turbo on the device and run the battery from 100% down to 0% and see how much life you get out of it when you're running full turbo. So I think that's probably the best case scenario. Obviously, if you're running something like the Steam Deck off of it, or an iPad, or a lot of these other lower power devices, it's probably going to last you a lot longer. But since a lot of people on my channel like to come for the ROG Ally stuff, I think that's probably the best real world test. And then that'll give me kind of a spot to compare against others. So at this point, I've got to go do some real world testing, and I'll be back with the results in a little bit. Thanks all. Okay, so I was able to do some testing with the Baseus Blade HD, and I did some testing with my Anker 737 just to kind of pit them against each other. Now, to be fair, the Baseus Blade HD is 20,000 milliamp hour, and the Anker 737 is 24,000 milliamp hour. So it does have a slight advantage there in the size, about 20%. So if you look at the numbers here, you can see on the screen that the Baseus ended up with 83 minutes of battery life, and the Anker ended up with 96 minutes of battery life. Now that's pretty negligible considering the size difference, and I'll tell you how I tested these two. I tested playing Diablo on the Anker, or not on the Anker, on the Ally for full turbo mode, and ran it until the power ran out. I did notice that the Blade HD actually kept going once it hit 0, and it put out probably about 10 more minutes. So it got pretty good battery life. So it kind of etched out just a little bit more when it looked like it was done for. So that was a nice surprise. Now on the negative side, the only thing I really have a qualm with the Baseus Blade HD is the fact that it takes double the amount of time to charge it. Now this might be due to, I've tried one port. Both of them really showed the same, so I don't know if there's really an issue there or not. It might just take longer to charge. But 2 hours to charge it, and you usually carry it with you. So not too big a deal for me, especially for the price difference. The other thing I wanted to make note of is that I did get it to actually work with both ports on the Baseus Blade HD to give me full turbo. After I rebooted and had fully charged it, they both gave me 30-watt turbo. So I'm not sure why I didn't do that in the initial testing, but I did get that to work, so that's a good thing. So anyway, based on these, you can see there's not a ton of difference other than the charging time to charge it back up. So let's go on to the next part that matters, which comes down to the battery life and the battery cost. So if we look at the battery cost, then I'm pretty much taking the retail prices for these devices, and I've put basically how much it costs per kilowatt milliamp hour, and then how much it costs per minute use based on my testing. So you can see the Baseus Blade HD costs to about $5 kilomilliamp hour, whereas the Anker comes out to 8. So there's definitely a premium for the Anker, and I know it might be a well-known brand, but Baseus has a lot of users too, and there's obviously quite a bit difference in price. So when you look at the actual cost per minute of use, it is still in the favor of the Baseus Blade HD with an hour and 20, or not an hour, $1.20 per minute, versus the Anker is $1.67 per minute. So if you look at it that way, you're still getting a better deal with the Baseus Blade HD. And honestly, if you were to get the Baseus Blade HD on sale, you could really buy 2 of them for the price of the Anker 737. So that's something to consider. So the next slide I want to show you here has to do with the lowest discounted prices I've seen on these products. So the Baseus Blade HD is $79 right now. You can get it on Amazon for $100 with a $20 off coupon. You can also get it through Baseus site. If you want to use my code, it's Ripper, spelled RYPPER, and that'll give you 20% off too, which should bring it down to $80 as well. So at that price, you're looking at $4 cost per kilomilliamp hour versus $5 for the Anker. So, and that's at the Anker at the lowest I've ever seen it, which is Prime Day, which was 100. Usually it's 159. I think I got mine on sale at maybe 130 at some point. So you're still looking at a deal even when it's discounted. But considering the Anker doesn't go on sale that often, you're going to be looking at possibly being able to get 2 of those Baseus Blade HDs for the price of 1 Anker. So even though it does have a slower charging time, you could have 2 of them. So that really kind of makes up for it if you wanted to. So anyway, it looks like a great product. I do want to reiterate again that Baseus sent this to me. They didn't give me any type of compensation other than the battery itself. But I told them I'll do an honest and fair review. And so just showing you the numbers kind of shows you how that works, and it looks like the Baseus is a really good buy. So I would recommend it. I do like the Anker as well, but for the money, I don't think you can beat the Baseus. So anyway, that's all for the video. If you like the video, I appreciate a like and subscribe. And that's it. I'm out. Thanks all.